My name is Bill Riegle, and I'm one of the founding members of the Petunia Festival. I was on the board from 1964 till about 1970, and I served as president during the years of 1968 and 69, and some of the early happenings of the Petunia Festival, the ideas from the board was they didn't want to have a carnival because they thought it would bring the wrong kinds of people into town. And it was founded to be a family-oriented venture, and it was to keep people having to travel somewhere on vacation over the 4th of July that they could stay home and have a good time. And so we didn't have a carnival to start with. And the highlights of the festival in the early days, fortunately, was we had the drum and bugle corps, which were a fabulous draw. And of course, they always cost us more money than we could take in because the stands were always full, but we never felt we could charge enough money to cover the costs. And of course, the parade was always a big issue. So those were some of the early highlights, and we didn't have a beer garden because that's not what the original board wanted to do. But as we went on during the ensuing years where I was involved, was developing the expansion. We eventually came to grips with the carnival and did agree because somebody came up with the idea they had one that was very friendly, family friendly, and it was. So we were happy we did that, and we made a lot of kids happy by doing that. So the things that I remember a lot about is the storms we had when I was chairman, and we sat down in the trailer. Harold Moore was my co-chairman the year of '69, and he had a camping trailer, and we had it down by the railroad tracks in Page Park, and it was pouring down rain, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the phone kept ringing and saying, "Are we going to have a parade? Are we going to have a parade?" And you just say, "Just wait till 1 o'clock." And we waited till 1 o'clock, and then the rain had always stopped. So all the telephone calls weren't necessary. So we were fortunate that way, but we did sweat a lot during those days. Anyway, no, we didn't have a beer garden. We didn't have the live bands like they have now. It's gotten so big that way. We didn't have food vendors. The parade route was on Galene Avenue, and we changed that because of the traffic, and the state kind of frowned upon that, so we moved it over to Peoria. And I think there were just 7 original board members, if I remember right. And some of those were, of course, the mayor, George Lindquist, and Ed Carey was the owner of Carey's Greenhouse, which is now Nichols Greenhouse, and Arnold Spangler from Dixon Oil Company, and George Lamb from Hay Brothers Ice Cream, and it's about all I can remember right now. And I was the first treasurer. I remember the first 3, Dean Hamilton, he was an accountant. The thing that was memorable about the first ones, we always end up with a debt at the end of the festival. So as treasurer, my job was to go out and make up for the debt. So of course the first place I turned was to the bank. So I usually got a pretty good contribution to them, and then I went to the other bank, and then I went to the newspaper, and by that time I didn't have much to do anymore. So people were very generous because they did appreciate the festival greatly. And as time went along, it got better. And of course, we come a long way since then.